Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the mess. So, baby, I woke up today, and I grabbed my phone, and a lot of the media blog, a lot of the blogs have been reporting that Sean Diddy Combs, it's the D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D, it's Diddy. Hold up, it's Diddy. Okay, girl, Diddy, do it. They were saying that he was found not guilty of RICO charges. So I went and looked. So he's like not guilty-ish. He still could possibly go to jail, but not for RICO. So this is according to ABC News. United States versus Sean Combs. So count one, racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Count two, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty, baby. Count three, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. Count four, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. Count five, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. I have a question, and I want you to ponder on this question that I'm about to ask. I asked this question on Twitter, and now I want to pose it to you guys and girls and non-binary, non-gender conforming folk. With the information that you have, would you be comfortable allowing your daughter or sons to hang out with Sean Diddy Combs? Of course, we're not talking about underage. Well, I hope. Okay. But girl, the truth of the matter is, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, then girl, don't worry about it. There are a group of people out there who are watching me right now who would send their underage kids over to Sean Diddy Combs the same way there were mothers and fathers who sent their underage girls over there to R. Kelly's. Be very clear. R. Kelly is in jail, but I have always been vocal that I believe that it's more than a few of those mamas and daddies who should be sitting right beside him or in the jail girl next door. So I was over here thinking earlier, girl, I don't think people would send their kids to R. Kelly, especially if they're underage. And then I had to clock myself. Yeah, they would, because they did it with R. Kelly. But again, back to the question. Would you feel comfortable sending your kids to R. Kelly's, to Puff Daddy's environment? Would you feel comfortable? Would you feel comfortable? Right. I see a lot of the celebrities speaking out, right? I was gonna say RJ, from Ray J to Tiny, from Escape, Funk, Funk, what's his name? Funky Master Flex. Would y'all feel comfortable sending your daughters and sons over to Puff Daddy's Tiny? Ask Tip, would he feel comfortable sending, what's her name, Deja? Would you feel comfortable sending Zonique? Is her name Zonique? Okay. Unique. Shout out to Beyonce. Funky Master Flesh. What's his name? Funk Master Flesh. We call him Funky Master Flesh. What's the nigga name? What's the nigga name, Jeff? What's the nigga name? Funk Master Flesh. Let me see. Funky Master. Funk Master. I think his name is Funk Master Flex. I call him Flesh, baby. Just funky, nasty, musty, fleshy. Girl, whatever the nooker name is. Funk Master Flex. That's his name. Girl. But it is what it is. But yeah, I just want y'all to answer me the question. Would you feel comfortable sending your children? And when I say children, be very clear. I'm talking about grown children, the legal children, because I don't even want to go down the road of my underage, but I already know the answer for some people because again, we have examples with the R. Kelly case. Underage don't mean nothing. Um, yeah, because I see a lot of people celebrating that that Sean was not found guilty of RICO. Girl, are you sending your daughter over to Sean Diddy Combs' house or son? Because we forgetting about the boys. We forgot that Diddy like boys too. Don't ever get it twisted. So, U.S. District Judge. Let me start right here. So, the highly anticipated trial of hip hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has reached an end. The jury found Sean Combs not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, the most serious charge. The jury found Combs guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution in connection with his ex girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, and guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution in connection with his ex girlfriend who testified under the pseudonym Jane Doe. He was not found guilty of both charges of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion in connection with Ventura and Combs. Combs was accused of being the ringleader of an alleged enterprise that abused, threatened, and coerced women into prolonged drug-fueled sexual orgies with male prostitutes, which he called freak-offs, and then threatened them into silence. Combs has said all of the sex was consensual, and while his relationship sometimes involved domestic violence, he wasn't engaged in trafficking. Um, the judge agrees to move up the sentencing date. So, of course, he still is going to be sentenced for the two charges that he was found guilty of. He was supposed to be sentenced in October, but the judge agreed to move up the sentencing. He did not set a new date for the sentencing itself. For now, he set a remote conference for July the 8th at 2 p.m. to hear arguments about next steps for pre-sentence for pre-sentence process, including Combs' interview with the court's probation department. The judge cites defense admission of domestic violence and denying bail. So the U.S. District Judge Aron, I can't pronounce that judge's name, told defense attorneys that Sean Combs' continued detention is a part because of the argument used by his lawyers to secure a partial acquittal that Combs engaged in domestic violence but not sex trafficking. You full-throatedly in your closing argument told the jury that there was violence here and the domestic violence is violence. You said this was a case that did have violence. As to the basic question of violence, you conceded that in your closing, the judge added. Baby, I know that's right. Clock it. Combs was seen passing multiple notes to defense attorney Mark Agnefello, who continued to plead for the judge to release Combs. I just think we should trust him. He is not going to flee. He just deserves a chance. If the trial showcases one thing, he has done remarkable things in his life. He has these flaws in his personality which are significant and held him back. He is a man who is in the process of working on himself, girl. The answer is no. Denied.
Denied.
The U.S. District Judge Aron, I'm gonna call him a Judge Aron. I know I'm mispronouncing his name. Did not weigh in on Combs' future sentence, but noted that there is a wide divide between what prosecutors and defense attorneys have suggested for Combs' sentence. We have very strong arguments that Mr. Combs would be entitled to a below guideline sentence, attorney Mark Agnefello said, arguing that Combs' case stands alone compared to similar prostitution cases. Baby. The judge also set a hearing early July to determine how to proceed with pre-sentence investigation conducted by the court's probation department. Hmm. So it is what it is. Like I said, I haven't really been paying attention to the case. I stick my head in, stick my head out. I know that Make It Make Sense is down in New York doing the Lord's work. So, I'm sure he'll probably be live um, later on today to give you the details of what happened at that courthouse, baby. Um, in my head, and this is just how I feel. What I feel is not the gospel. What I feel is not facts. What I feel in the grand scheme of things don't mean nothing. Okay, because girl, at this point, it is what it is. I was on the phone last night with my friends, and I was texting my sister at one point. And honestly, I was like, girl, he probably not gonna get charged with everything, girl. Like probably one or two. But other than that, girl, he'll probably be out. If he gets sentenced, he might get sentenced for a few years and then he'll be back out, girl. I think that the nigga is definitely guilty, girl. However, like I said, what I think don't matter. um, I think he's guilty of all things that they accused him of. I think that he is a menace to society. I think that he is a threat to the community. And like I have told my friends, and I probably told y'all this, if I was someone who had to get up there and testify against Diddy, I would not want to do it. I don't want to. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I don't want no parts of it because if y'all free that man, now I'm gonna have to be looking over my shoulder for the rest of my life. I don't want no parts of it. I actually feel really, really bad for all the people who got on that stand because if he is sentenced a light sentence, or if the judge says time served or whatever, I just feel like I don't know. I just would not want to be one of those people, whether it was Kid Cudi, Don, um, Capricorn Clark, any of the other girls and boys who took that stand. I'm a tad bit nervous for them because I really do believe that Sean Combs is a menace to society. I just don't think that all of these people have these stories about this man because, girl, it's just a takedown of the rich black man. I've been very vocal about I believe that when it comes to men and women who are terrorists in the community, especially with these men, I believe that these men, when they start to scream, the white man, the white man, the white man, they want to be treated like white men because they believe, and sometimes it is true, we're not going to sit here and deny that it's not a fact, that white men don't receive the same punishment as sometimes a black man would receive. I also believe that when we have those black men, whether it's a Sean Diddy Combs or any other girl terrorist in the goddamn community, that they want to be treated like white men. They don't want the white men to be treated like the niggas. They want to be able to do the same thing that they say that white men do in the world, and they get away with it. They don't want the white men to be treated like them, where they say that we're always found guilty and pushed in jail. No, I want you to treat me the way that you treat John St. Thomas. I want you to treat me the same way that you treat, girl, the rich white man. I don't want you to treat them the way you treat me. I want you to treat me the way that you treat them. It is what it is, the people who love Puffy, they are excited today. Um, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right, y'all. I need to get to the nail salon. We may go live tonight because I do want to talk about Phaedra and Portia. She did some interview with Jason Lee, and maybe we can tap on this a little bit too. But I need to get out of here because it's almost 6 o'clock, and I think they close like at 7. I'm not gonna lie, Dunga. I just get, I don't do all, I don't do all that carrying on. I just do a little, it's just simple manicure and throw a little clear fingernail polish on, and I go on by my business. So it should only take about 20, 30 minutes, not that long. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all hopefully later tonight. All right, y'all have a good day. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Puffy. Would you send your kids over to Puffy's house? Would you feel comfortable sending your kids over to Puffy house. God, like I said, I don't even want to talk about the underage kids, but girl, quiet as it's kept. Like I said, girl, based off of what I think about the R. Kelly case, I know that people will send their underage kids over to Puff Daddy's house because they sent their kids over to R. Kelly's house. They sent their kids to R. Kelly's hotel rooms, I believe. Hello. I do want to add this though. I do believe this that a lot of the people, especially the celebrities, whether they're men or women, I believe that a lot of them are excited that Puffy did not get girl the hammer thrown at his face, at his head, because I believe that they also participate in some of the same nefarious activities that Puff Daddy was involved in. And if they can take down a rich, at one point a billionaire black man like Puffy, then girl, we definitely ain't got a chance. I do believe that. When I see the girls and boys, girl, even the people who are non-celebrities in the comment section, being very excited, you've probably engaged in some of the same things that Puff Daddy has had. Now, don't get it twisted, girl. I'm not a saint. Okay? I'm not a saint. But best believe every threesome that I done had in my I done had in my life, girl, it was very much consensual. Go when nobody popping no pills in the room. Go when nobody drink. Well, I probably was drinking. Okay, okay. You know what I'm saying? Go we done all did some shit in our life. But girl, to the extent of that, girl, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that a lot of the people who are, very loud cheerleaders for Puff Daddy that have engaged in some of the same activity, if not more. And if you can take down the rich black man who has access, money, wealth, power, resource, girl, the best money that lawyers can buy, then girl, the shit that we doing, which is probably the same as him, but we don't stand a chance. All right, y'all. I just wanted to come back and say that little part. I'm gone. I got to get to this nail shop for real. All right. Bye, y'all.